I cried in a salon chair last year, not because of a bad haircut, though I've definitely had those, but because for the first time in probably 15 years, I actually felt beautiful. I'm 56 years old, and somewhere along the way, I'd convinced myself that my best years were behind me, that I just needed to accept looking fine instead of fabulous. And then I met a stylist who completely changed my perspective. She looked at me and said, "Who told you that you had to settle?" And honestly, I didn't have an answer. So she gave me one of these 5 cuts I'm about to show you, and I'm not exaggerating when I say it changed my life. Suddenly, people were complimenting me everywhere I went. My husband kept staring at me. I felt confident in photos again. And the crazy part? The cut itself wasn't even that dramatically different from what I had before. It was just strategically better. Better layers, better angles, better techniques that actually worked with my hair texture instead of fighting against it. That's when I realized most women over 50 aren't getting bad haircuts. They're just getting the wrong haircuts for this stage of life. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 elegant styles that actually work for mature hair, and I'm showing you exactly why they're so effective and which one might be your perfect match. Now, before we dive into these 5 cuts, I need you to understand something really important. This isn't about chasing youth. This isn't about trying to look 30 again or pretending like time hasn't passed. That's not what elegance is about. Elegance is about looking like the absolute best version of yourself right now, at this exact stage of your life. It's about working with what you have, enhancing your natural beauty, and carrying yourself with confidence. And here's what I've discovered. The women who look the most stunning over 50 aren't the ones fighting against their age. They're the ones who've learned to dress, style, and yes, cut their hair in a way that celebrates where they are. These 5 cuts I'm about to show you, they're not tricks or gimmicks. They're strategic, thoughtful styles that take into account everything from face shape to hair texture to lifestyle. Some of them might surprise you. Some might be exactly what you've been looking for. But I guarantee at least one of these is going to make you think, that's it? That's my next cut. But before I reveal cut number 1, I need to ask you a quick favor. If you're finding this helpful so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I post videos like this every single week to help you look and feel your absolute best. And if you know another woman who could benefit from seeing these elegant haircut options, share this video with her. We need to start a movement of women over 50 who refuse to settle for boring, outdated cuts. All right, let's get into cut number 1. Haircut 1. The modern contour. Bob. All right, let's start with cut number 1, and this one might actually be my personal favorite. I call it the modern contour bob, and it is an absolute game changer for women who want something shorter but still incredibly chic and feminine. Here's what the modern contour bob is. It's a chin length to just below chin length bob that's slightly longer in the front than in the back. We're talking about maybe an inch or 2 of difference, nothing dramatic. But here's what makes it modern and different from the bobs your mum wore in the 80s. It features subtle internal layers and texturizing that create this beautiful, lived-in look. It's not a blunt, helmet-like bob. It's soft, it moves, it has personality. And the contour part, that refers to how the cut is specifically shaped to contour and flatter your individual face shape. Let me tell you why this cut is so powerful for women over 50. First of all, a bob at this length is universally flattering. It hits right at the jawline, which is one of the most flattering lengths for mature faces. If you're dealing with a softening jawline or the beginnings of jowls, and let's be real, most of us are by this age, this length actually creates a visual definition and structure. The hair ends right where you want people's eyes to focus, creating this clean, elegant line that makes your whole face look more lifted and defined. Second, the modern contour. Bob is absolutely perfect for hair that's lost some of its thickness. When hair gets thinner, shorter lengths almost always look better because there's less weight pulling it down. You get more natural body, more bounce, more life. And because this bob includes those internal layers and texturizing, your stylist is essentially engineering volume and movement into the cut itself. You're not relying on products or hot tools to make your hair look full. The cut is doing that work for you. Third, this cut is incredibly low maintenance, which I know matters to a lot of women at this stage of life. You can literally wash it, apply a little styling cream or mousse, blow dry it for maybe 10 minutes with your hands or a paddle brush, and you're done. It looks polished and put together with minimal effort. And if you want to dress it up, a quick pass with a flat iron or a few minutes with a curling iron, and you've got this gorgeous, sophisticated style that's appropriate for absolutely any occasion. Now, the genius of the contour aspect is that this cut gets customized to your specific face. If you have a round face, your stylist will keep slightly more length in the front to create an elongating effect. If you have a longer face, they might keep the bob a bit more uniform in length and add some soft bangs or face-framing pieces. If you have a square jaw, they'll add softness around your face with those textured, wispy pieces. This isn't a one-size-fits-all bob. It's a bob that's tailored specifically to make you look your absolute best. Who is this cut ideal for? The modern contour. Bob is perfect if you have fine to medium hair density and you're ready to commit to a shorter length. It works beautifully on straight, wavy, or even slightly curly hair, though if you have very curly hair, you'll want to work with a stylist who specializes in curly cuts to make sure they adjust the length and layering appropriately. This cut is also ideal if you're active, if you don't want to spend a lot of time on your hair, or if you just want something that feels fresh and current without being trendy or over the top. Face shapes. This works on virtually everyone when it's contoured correctly, but it's especially stunning on oval, heart, and square face shapes. If you have a very round face, you'll just want to make sure your stylist keeps a bit more length in the front and avoids making it too full at the sides. When you talk to your stylist about the modern contour bob, here's what you need to say. I want a chin-length bob that's slightly longer in front, with internal layers for texture and movement. I want it soft and modern, not blunt or heavy, and I want you to customize the shape to flatter my face. Again, bring pictures, show them bobs that you love. And don't be afraid to speak up during the cut if you feel like they're going too short or too blunt. This is your hair, and you get to have a say. Styling tip: the modern contour. Bob looks absolutely gorgeous with a deep side part. It creates asymmetry and visual interest, and it's incredibly flattering. When you're blow drying, focus on creating volume at the roots, especially on the side with less hair. And if you want to add some extra polish, run a flat iron through just the top layer to create sleekness and shine. The internal layers will still give you movement, but you'll have this beautiful, glossy finish. Haircut 2, the sophisticated sweep. Now let's move on to cut number 2. And if you're someone who still wants length but needs more movement and life in your hair, this is going to be your new best friend. I call it the sophisticated sweep, and this one is absolutely stunning. So here's what makes this cut so special. The sophisticated sweep is essentially a long, layered cut that falls anywhere from shoulder length to just past the collarbone. But here's the key. It features soft, graduated layers that start around the cheekbone area and sweep back away from your face. The layers aren't choppy or dramatic. They're blended beautifully to create this cascading effect that adds incredible volume and movement without looking too young or trendy. Now, why does this work so well for women over 50? Let me break it down. First, as we age, our hair naturally loses some of its density and thickness. A lot of women make the mistake of keeping their hair all one length, thinking that'll make it look fuller. But actually, the opposite happens. One-length hair just hangs there, flat and lifeless, making thinning even more obvious. The sophisticated sweep solves this problem because those soft layers create the illusion of thickness and volume. Each layer catches the light differently, creates shadow and dimension, and gives your hair this beautiful flowing quality that makes it look healthy and abundant. Second, this cut is incredibly face-flattering. Those front layers that start around your cheekbones, they're not accidental. They're strategically placed to frame your face, draw attention to your eyes, and soften any areas you might be self-conscious about, like jowls or a softening jawline. The way the hair sweeps back creates this lifting effect that's almost like a visual facelift. I'm not exaggerating. The right layers in the right places can genuinely make you look years younger. Third, and this is huge, the sophisticated sweep is incredibly versatile. You can wear it straight and sleek for a polished, professional look. You can add some loose waves for a softer, more romantic vibe. You can tuck one side behind your ear for an elegant, asymmetrical look. You can even pull it into a low ponytail or bun when you need to, and those face-framing layers will still do their job. This is not a high-maintenance cut. You're not spending an hour styling it every morning. Most women with this cut tell me they blow-dry it for about 15 minutes, maybe run a flat iron or curling iron through the front sections, and they're done. Now, who is this cut best for? The sophisticated sweep works beautifully if you have fine to medium hair texture. If your hair is naturally straight or has just a slight wave, this cut will be incredibly easy to manage. It also works wonderfully if you have an oval, heart-shaped, or rectangular face shape, because those soft layers create balance and softness. If you're someone who's been wearing your hair long for years but it's starting to feel heavy, flat, or outdated, this is your transition cut. You get to keep your length, which a lot of women are emotionally attached to, and that's totally valid. But you're updating it, modernizing it, making it work for your hair as it is right now. One important note: when you go to your stylist, you need to be very specific about what you want. Don't just say, "I want layers." That's too vague. Tell them you want soft, graduated layers starting at the cheekbone that sweep away from the face with the longest layers at the back. Show them pictures. I cannot stress this enough. Bring multiple pictures from different angles so your stylist can see exactly what you mean. And make sure they understand that you want the layers blended, not choppy. Choppy layers can look edgy and cool on a 25-year-old, but on mature hair, they often just look messy or damaged. Styling tip for the sophisticated sweep: invest in a good volumizing mousse and a round brush. When you're blow-drying, lift the roots as you dry to create volume at the crown. That's where we tend to lose volume as we age. And here's a little trick. When you're drying those front layers, direct them back and away from your face rather than letting them fall forward. That creates that sweeping effect that makes the cut so elegant and polished. Haircut 3, the elegant midi shag. All right, cut number 3 is for all of you who want something with a little more edge, a little more personality, but still completely elegant and age-appropriate. I call this one the elegant midi shag. And when I tell you this cut is having a major moment right now, I mean it. Celebrities, influencers, stylists, everyone is obsessed with this cut, and for good reason. So what exactly is the elegant midi shag? It's a medium-length cut, usually falling somewhere between the chin and shoulders, that features tons of layers. But sophisticated, intentional layers, not the choppy, messy shag you might be thinking of from the 70s. This is a refined, elegant version. The layers create this beautiful, shaggy texture and movement throughout the entire cut, and there are usually some shorter, piecey layers around the face that give you that effortless, cool girl vibe. But here's the key difference between a regular shag and an elegant shag. The layering is softer, more blended, and the overall shape is still polished and intentional. So those are three incredibly elegant haircuts that can completely transform how you look and feel. Remember, your best hair years are not behind you. You don't have to settle for boring cuts just because you've reached a certain age. The right haircut is one of the most powerful tools you have to feel beautiful and confident every single day. So find your pictures, book that appointment, be specific about what you want, and don't be afraid to try something new. You deserve to feel amazing. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Drop a comment below and let me know. Which cut are you most excited about? The modern contour bob, the sophisticated sweep, or the elegant midi shag? I read every comment and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.